Hello everyone. In this video, we'll do the daily current affairs analysis of 30th November 2021. The first topic which we'll discuss is the World Health Organization. The basic info about WHO is the World Health Organization, the United Nations specialist organization for health, was founded in 1948. Geneva, Switzerland is home for the company's headquarters. The organization has 194 member states, 150 country offices, and 6 regional offices. It is an intergovernmental organization that works with its member states, usually through their ministries of health. The WHO sets the research agenda, establishes norms and standards, articulates evidence-based policy alternatives, provides technical help to countries, and monitors and assesses global health trends. It first opened its doors on 7 April 1948, which is today known as the World Health Day. Goals of WHO include assume the job of worldwide health director and organizer. As needed, establish and maintain effective coordination with the UN, specialized agencies, government health administrations, professional groups, and other organizations. Assist governments in strengthening health services upon request. Encourage scientific and professional organizations that work to improve health to collaborate. Administration. The Health Assembly is made up of delegates that represent members. Each member is represented by up to 3 delegates, one of whom is designated as the member's head delegate. These delegates are selected from among individuals with the greatest level of technical experience in the field of health, ideally from the members' National Health Administration. The Health Assembly meets on a regular basis as well as on occasion for special sessions. The Health Assembly makes decisions about the organization's policy. The WHO Secretariat is located in Geneva, Switzerland. The Director General, as well as any technical or administrative staff that the organization may require, makes up the Secretariat. The Director General is appointed by the Health Assembly on the board's recommendation and for such terms as the Assembly determines. The source of this news is The Hindu. Next is how a law is repealed in India. It is from GS paper 3 and topic is constitutional amendment related topics. Why is it making headlines? The Prime Minister of India had recently stated that the 3 contentious farm laws approved in 2020 will be reversed during the upcoming winter session of Parliament. Articles of the Indian Constitution that are related. According to Article 245 of the Constitution, Parliament has the ability to make laws for the entire country or for any part of it, while state legislatures have the power to make laws for their own states. The same clause grants Parliament the power to overturn a law. Under the Constitution, Parliament has the same power to repeal as it has to enact legislation. A law can be repealed completely, partially, or merely to the extent that it conflicts with other laws. A sunset clause in legislation can also specify a date after which it will cease to exist. For example, the Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Prevention Act of 1987 or TADA included a sunset clause and was allowed to expire in 1995. What does it mean to repeal a law? Parliament must approve new legislation to repeal a statute that does not have a sunset provision. Laws can be repealed in 2 ways, by ordinances or by legislation. Through ordinance, if an ordinance is used, it must be replaced by legislation passed by Parliament within 6 months. If the ordinance fails owing to Parliament's failure to accept it, the repealed statute will be reinstated. Farm laws must be abolished through legislation. The government must pass legislation in both houses of parliament and obtain the president's approval before the farm laws can be repealed. All three farm laws could be repealed by a single piece of legislation. Repealing and amendment bills are frequently submitted for this reason. So source of this news is The Hindu. Next is about the Attorney General of India. So the Attorney General of India is a member of the India's Union Executive. He is the highest law enforcement authority in the country. Article 76 of the Constitution establishes the position of Attorney General of India. Eligibility and appointment. The President picks the Attorney General based on the government's recommendation. He or she must be an Indian citizen who has served as a High Court judge for 5 years, or as a High Court attorney for 10 years, or as a famous jurist according to the President's decision. The term of office is not specified in the Constitution. The processes and grounds for the removal of the AG are not specified in the Constitution. He or she works at the President's pleasure. He or she may be removed by the President at any time. Responsibilities include to provide legal advice to the Government of India on matters that the President has entrusted to him or her, to carry out any additional legal tasks that the President has assigned to him or her. In all Supreme Court and High Court cases involving the Government of India, to represent the Government of India. In any Supreme Court referral made by the President under Article 143 of the Constitution to represent the Government of India. Power of the President to consult the Supreme Court. Rights and limitations. He or she has the right to speak and participate in the proceedings of both houses of the Parliament, as well as any parliamentary committee to which he or she may be appointed, but not to vote. He or she has all of the privileges and immunities that come with being a member of Parliament. He or she does not fit under the category of government workers. He is not prohibited from practicing law in his spare time. He or she should not, however, advise or represent the Government of India in any way. The Attorney General is assisted in carrying out his official duties by the Solicitor General of India and the Additional Solicitor General of India. The source of this news is The Hindu. Next is, what is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act? It is from GS paper 3 and topic is Indian economy. So the Pmla Act of 2002. India's particular legislation dealing with money laundering is the Pmla 2002. The law, which was enacted in India to combat money laundering, has three basic objectives: preventing money and combating money laundering, to provide for the forfeiture and seizure of property acquired through money laundering in India, to deal with any other money laundering related issue. Under the Pmla Act, the Enforcement Directorate is authorized to conduct a money laundering investigation. In addition to the rules of the PMLA, there are other specialized requirements such as the RBI, SEBI, IRDA, anti-money laundering regulations. So the amendments made recently. In 2019, the Union Government issued a notification amending the PMLA, giving the Enforcement Directorate extra jurisdiction in dealing with money laundering cases. What are the specific modifications that will be implemented? According to the amendment, money laundering will be classified as a separate crime. It was not originally a standalone crime. Instead, it was dependent on the proceeds of another crime known as the predicate offense or scheduled offense, which became the subject of the money laundering crime. The most notable changes are the elimination of clauses in subsection 1 of section 17 and section 18. Under these rules, other agencies are authorized to investigate the offences mentioned in the PMLA schedule were required to file a FIR or charge sheet. All PMLA offences will be cognizable and non-bailable according to Section 45 of the Act. As a result, if certain conditions are met, ET will be authorized to arrest an accused without a warrant. Another significant modification is that the Act now includes separate and full charges for concealing proceeds of crime, possession, acquisition, usage, projecting as pure money, and claiming an unspoiled property. Money laundering is defined as follows: the technique of making large sums of money earned through criminal activities such as drug trafficking or terrorist financing appear to have come from a legitimate source is known as money laundering. Smuggling, drug trafficking, prostitute network, insider trading, bribery, and computer fraud all earn significant amount of money. As a result, money launderers have a motivation to utilize money laundering to legitimize ill-gotten gains. Money generated in this manner is known as dirty money, and the act of transforming dirty money into legal money is known as money laundering. So, source of this news is The Hindu. Next is about the giant African snails. So it is a prelim specific topic. So the Achatina fulica, the giant African snail, is a large land snail with the generic name Achatina fulica. It eats furiously, causing damage to both agricultural crops and wild plants. Giant African snails are native to East Africa, as their name suggests. The snails are around 7 centimeters tall and 20 centimeters long. The snail shells have a conical form and are twice as tall as they are wide. The shell is also incredibly tough. Snails are said to devour plants, vegetables, fruits, paper, and cardboard. They occasionally eat sand, very small stones, and cadaver bones. The snail has been named one of the worst invasive species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN). The giant African snail is thought to transmit human diseases such as septicemia, eosinophilic meningitis, and peritonitis. Giant African snails invasion in India. According to a recent study, the enormous snail has regularly infiltrated India, particularly Kerala. The research was done in partnership with the Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, the UAE's Environmental Agency, Nottingham University in the United Kingdom, and the Natural History Museum in London at the Kerala Forest Research Institute (KFRI). The study was conducted between 2016 and 2020. The snail is thought to have made its way to Kerala after being accidentally released by a researcher in Palakkad in the early 1950s. There were two more invasion waves between the 1970s and 2005. The deadly species has now spread to all of Kerala's districts except Idukki. According to the study, India has a higher genetic diversity of giant African snails than native African species. The genetic strains of large African snails in the United Arab Emirates and India are identical. The movement of goods between the two countries is to blame for this. The outcomes of the study were published in the Biology Journal of the Linnean Society. The source of this news is again The Hindu. So thanks a lot for watching the analysis video. Have a nice day.